Oh, question number 2. Great. So, this is maybe just an observation, or my own sort of, like you said, a lot of people come to the show with their own issues. So, I guess one of the things I felt seeing it is that it really brought to me this feeling that when we're on the internet, we get really confused, or our sense of what's public and what's private sort of overlap. And maybe we even feel things are private when they really aren't, because maybe we're alone in our rooms, or even though we're posting something on Twitter and it's being broadcast to hundreds of people. But when you put it in the theater and you really show how public the internet is and can be, it's almost overwhelming or just jarring, and you can see it even in the faces of people who are being interacted with online. And I'm just wondering if that was something you were trying to show, and if so, what do you think that what do you want to say with that sort of idea?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that we wanted to expose the illusion of privacy that we have, because being in front of our screen makes us feel like there's no consequences to what we do, but there are, and like it's easier to think about the tragic things that happened with that, bullying online, what it can do to people, and all the power that certain people feel that they have behind their screens, because they don't have to stand up in front of the consequences of their actions or their thoughts or their words. And yeah, it's like, to me, but that's just to me, to expose that is all a process of just waking up to what things are and taking responsibility for who we are and what we do, But to me, anything in the art is that a little bit. So
yeah, and I think it's sort of funny, because it just came to me now that people often, or they off and on, it seems to be trendy every once in a while to say that theater is dying, there's no use for live theater because we have movies, we have the internet. But then when you bring the internet into theater, it actually shows you how necessary it can be and how it can really interact with the sort of world we live in that is full of screens, how we are both alive and recorded and online, and how one doesn't necessarily supersede the other, that it's sort of necessary to have them work together so that we understand. Maybe I should put this on myself. So that we actually understand the world we're living in. Yeah. So I find that actually what you're doing to be really vital in a way.
Well,
and to the art of theater as well. Right?
Yeah, well, that's another thing. I think we've been just questioning the purpose of that, because we feel like there's more sincerity in other art forms. And that's what we question through that. Because, of course, you're on a stage. There's so many conventions that come with the theater. So what do you do to produce sincere work? Sincere work that will hit people in the guts, And so by bringing this sort of virtual reality on stage, we're trying to be as sincere as possible, because that's just a reflection of the reality of a lot of people. And it's I think that we have a tendency nowadays to demonize what is virtual versus to what is real, and I think that this has to change, personally, because not because I value more virtuality than anything. It's just because we have to question the value we give to things and why. Why are things important? Why are bodies more important than pixels that represent the body of someone? Yeah. It's all these questions, because we're in a modern world that doesn't represent our animality at all the way we're used to, but we are very archaic in our brain compared to what is happening around us. And I think that if we have created that reality around us, it's for a very good reason. And that's why we're questioning the show.
Cool.